Pilates. We are here again down in Kiama. So if you see a dog walk past, they're all part of the exercise program. Added balance challenge. We are going to be working on our balance, and we're going to start with just setting our position. We're going to have our feet directly underneath our hips, and we're going to have our weight back on our heels. Slightly tuck the tailbone and feel nice and open and tall through the chest. Feel that the rib cage is coming down slightly so you can feel that your core switches on. Holding that position, we're going to be going into a march or lifting the leg up without letting your hips sit side to side and without trying to shift your weight too far across. So holding that tailbone tuck, chest open, ribs coming down, you're going to bring the knee up and down. Alternating sides here. Think about staying nice and tall, using those core muscles to hold yourself nice and stable, balancing. The longer that leg is in the air, the more that you are challenging that balance. If you think about squeezing your bottom or pushing your hip across, that might help you hold yourself nice and tall through this movement. We're going to do one leg at a time now, but instead of a march, what we'll be doing is taking our heel to in line with our knee, keeping our knee facing forward. Holding that balanced position, you're going to be taking your leg out into a clam, holding yourself nice and tall. So we should feel both glutes work to be active as that knee is taken out to the side. I'm at 3 here, and we're going to get to 20. Keep focusing on being nice and tall. Keep focusing on that slight tuck of the tailbone, the rib cage being drawn down, and the shoulders being nice and open to keep your balance. I'm up to 10, and I can feel my glute working really hard through that side that I'm standing on, and just some light activation on our moving leg. You should have about 4 more. Staying nice and tall. Here comes the dogs. So let's take that to the other side while Lola sits on my mat with me. Lola, come over here, darling. Lola, over here. Alright, I've got a friend. You're taking that heel in line with the knee. Hold yourself nice and tall and take that knee out to the side. Remembering to feel like you're squeezing that glute. Tailbone stays slightly tucked. The rib cage comes down so you can feel that core is on and feel open across the chest and shoulders. You have about 10 more to go. Concentrate on staying nice and tall, squeezing your bottom to keep you upright, holding stiffness through your core by drawing that belly button into your spine. Got 5 to go. Take ourselves back to our original side, and we're going to move into a more difficult version of that. Lola's going to move. So you are going to be standing on that one side. You're going to bring that heel up in line with the knee again. You're going to take that knee wide, holding that position. We're going to go for a clam kick. We're just going to do 10 kicks here. Holding yourself tall, kick the leg, Bring the heel back to the knee, staying nice and tall. The only part that should be moving is the lower part of your leg. I've done 5, I have 5 to go. Keep those hips facing the front. Last one. Changing sides, thinking about that tall body position, bringing that heel to in line with the knee, taking the knee out wide, keeping the hips facing the front, taking the leg out and back in. Think about squeezing, drawing the core in. Have 5 more to go. And relax. We're going to sit into a stretch that is also a balance exercise. If you need to hold onto a pole or a wall, you can do that for this. So you want to take your ankle over your knee and you're going to sit down into a stretch. So you're just sitting your tailbone down towards your heel so you can feel that stretch on the glute, that is the legs raised. Take that to the other side. Again, if you need a wall, you can take yourself to hold onto a wall or a pole. Otherwise, it is ankle over knee, and then sit your tailbone down towards your heel so you can feel that stretch through the glute on the side that the leg is up. My balance isn't as good on that side. You're going to come now down onto the ground in a 4-point kneel position. With our hands directly underneath our shoulders and our knees directly underneath our hips, we're going for a neutral spine position, feeling nice and strong, and we'll be alternating, moving away with the arm and the leg, and changing sides. Thinking about drawing your belly button into the spine without actually moving the back, so you feel your core is on nice and strong. You want to watch that your hips aren't swaying side to side, and that as you lift the leg, you're not arching the back or lifting the hip up. You want to stay nice and still across that tailbone as the arm and leg come off the ground. Relax back into your child pose position. You're going to vary that position slightly by taking your knees and also your feet to the edges of your mat and sit back again, and you should feel that that stretch changes now. It might go into your groin if you're tight there. It might go into your sacrum or tailbone area if you're tight around there. Just changes to open up your pelvis a little bit more. float and one leg to float. Then you're going to be taking those out. You want to keep a straight line between the fingertips and the toes, and then back to that midline position. So it's like you're creating an X as they come across the body and then come back towards the center. We're going to be going through 20 on either side of opening into that X. So your arm should move out to the side in the X and back, and the leg is mimicking that to the opposite side. So neutral spine, take the arm and leg out, hold your core on as you take those out to the side. You want this to be nice, slow and relaxed, so you stay in control. I have 5 to go. And changing sides. Take that arm away, take that leg away, hold that neutral spine, and create that X. Slow and controlled. Keeping that neutral core position. And we're doing 20. And I have 5 to go here. And we are going to go back into our child pose position. We're going to keep our heels together this time and take our knees apart and sit back in that child pose, just feeling it somewhere different than normal. Usually this one comes more in towards the groin, but you might still feel it really strong across the tailbone or sacrum area through here. Coming back into 4-point knee, we have one more progression of our X. This time you are going to be taking your X out, holding that position, bringing the the hand to touch the knee, and then back out into your X. So we're just putting a bit of a variation onto the control that your core needs to produce, as we're taking a kind of a bit of a wider movement here. So let's start with nice neutral position. Take opposite arm, opposite leg to float, move into your X, and we're going to go through 50, slow and controlled. Bring the hand in to touch the knee under the body, and take that nice and wide again into your X. I have 5 to go. And changing sides. So opposite arm, opposite leg, floats, neutral spine position. Take the arm and the leg wide of the body, tap underneath, and take wide again. Again, you're doing 15. come out of your child pose just enough that you can slide that hand underneath to go for a rotation stretch there. Think about your fingertips of both arms walking away so you can feel that stretch really moving through the rib cage. Taking that to the other side. So sliding that hand under and both fingertips slide away for that stretch. Coming all the way onto our side now. The first movement we're going to do on our side is just a simple clam. So I want heels to line up with your tailbone. Your knees are bent up in front of you. Holding your hip so that you can feel that it is rolled slightly towards the ground. Then push that hip away so you get a small lift underneath where you're in line with your belly button so your core is on and active. And we adjust, opening the knee and letting that come back down to meet the knee again. Keep your heels together as you do this. We're going to go for 25 and then we'll change sides. I have 10 more to go. And changing sides. You're setting up in the same position. So arms supporting your head, your heels are lined up with your tailbone or your bottom. Your knees are just bent up in front of you. Take a hand to the hip and roll that hip slightly forward and push that away so you've got your core on. Then lifting the knee and taking that back to your starting position. We are doing 25. We want to make sure we're not rolling through the hip and we're staying nice and stable. We have 5 more to go here. Keep that core on, keep that hip roll towards the ground. Last one. We're going to take ourselves just to stretch our glute out onto our back. Ankle over your knee and bring that knee in towards your chest. If it's hard for you to lie on your back or you're pregnant, I suggest doing it in this position. So sitting up and then just taking your knee, ankle over your knee, and you can start to bring that towards your belly if you want more of a stretch. And changing sides for that stretch. more progressions for our clam today. So our first one is going to be straightening the bottom leg and having the top leg bent with the heel or the foot in line with the bottom knee. You want to hold your core and try not to push off the ground to get the knee off the ground and opening wide. We want to take that all the way back to the ground, and what you'll find is that you have to really stiffen your core so that it has a stable base for you to push that knee up. It should be very hard, and it should to initiate the movement, as you need a lot of stiffness within your core to do this. We are just doing 15. So hold that position, turn on your core, lift the knee, take the knee all the way back down to the ground to reset. I have 5 more to go. And the last one here. Let's take that to the other side. So the actual effort within the glute is no harder, but it is the effort of the core and the coordination of this movement that should be more difficult. So straightening that bottom leg, the heel or foot lines up with the knee, holding that position, turning on that core and lifting the knee. Again, we're going for 15. Make sure the knee makes it all the way back to the ground, so you do have to reset. And I have 5 more to go here. Last one. Taking it back to our original side, we have one more progression for this clam exercise today. This should really burn the glutes. We are doing just 15 reps. You are back in heels in line with your tailbone, and your knees are bent. You're going to take yourself to an open clam and hold that position. You're then going to do what is called a clam kick. So you're going to keep your knee nice and still, take your foot out to kick towards the sky, and the heel should be able to reach back to the heel. You want to watch that as you go through this, you don't end up just kicking straight forward here. That's not what we're after. We're after that big opening and kicking to the sky. So we've got that rotation and open from the hip. So if we go together, open into your clam, hold your clam position, keep your knee nice and still. Think of your knee facing the sky, kicking through, and we have 15 slow and controlled kicks. I'm on my last one here. Let's take that to the other side. So starting in your neutral position, heels are in line with your tailbone and your knees are bent. You want to open into your clam, keep your knee facing towards the sky, kick, in that direction, and the heel should reach back to heel. And we are doing 15 kicks. Nice, slow and controlled. You should feel that through your top glute burning nice and strong. Keep that knee up towards the sky. You should have 3 to go here. Staying on your side, we're going to move into a stretch. That stretch is going to be straightening the bottom leg. Bring the top knee up in line with the belly or the hip. Taking one arm out wide or even hold the knee, and then open through that other shoulder to bring it towards the ground. If you like, you can come in and out of that stretch, or you can hold at the end of that stretch to feel it through the back and across the glute. Lola. We're going to take that to the other side to finish off. Lola's going to help me do my stretch, it looks like. So lying on your side. Watch out, Lola. I'm doing my stretches. Sit down. Sit. Lying on that side, that bottom knee is nice and straight. Take that top leg in line with the belly button. Arm is out into the side. You can even use that to hold the knee as you open that stretch across. Done for today. I hope you enjoyed our Pilates exercises and watching me be interrupted by the lovely Lola. Lola! Come on. From here in sunny Kiama.